Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts, and right off the bat on the old show again today. I apologize for the voice. Hopefully it'll be a lot better coming up for the next couple of shows coming up very, very soon. First up on the list, this little picture hit the old interwebs with a humongous thud. A lot of people are talking about this as the new logo for the brand new Hellcat series of engines that are going to go in the new SRT Challenger. There's also rumors that the new SRT Challenger will be making its official debut at the New York Auto Show. Now, what is the Hellcat that is? It's a specially prepared supercharged Hemi that's going to be going in that brand new Challenger that's supposedly going to be making 650 brake horsepower and 640 pounds-feet of torque. Hopefully, if it does arrive in New York, we'll know a little bit more about it, and maybe if this is the actual logo or just something that someone cooked up on the old interwebs. Next up on the list, well, we're getting closer and closer to the final actual deal on the Roger Rodas and actor Paul Walker's fatal accident. We do know a couple of more things for sure, as the mechanical stuff has already been done as far as the investigation is concerned. And they found absolutely no mechanical issues with the automobile whatsoever. So there was a lot of rumors floating around that there was an actual problem with the car, that they were trying to investigate or whatnot. Apparently that wasn't any of that was true. Or whether it was or wasn't, we may never really know for sure. One thing we do know, the little industrial park that they were actually rumbling around in does have a speed limit of 45 miles an hour. Now we're hearing that the car was doing upwards of 93 miles an hour at the point the vehicle actually lost control in the hands of Mr. Roger Rodas. Now, this particular crash is pretty horrific. There wasn't much left of the car. And one of the things that they really pointed out that may have been a contributing factor for this particular accident was the fact that normal tires, high-performance tires for supercars, are quite expensive and not to mention very fragile pieces, and they don't last exceptionally long. Even if the car doesn't move all the time, they claim that you should probably change tires on a high-performance automobile every 6 years, no matter what the mileage is. Now, as far as Porsche is concerned, and what they said about the Carrera GT, is those tires should have been changed every 4 years. Apparently, in this particular automobile, the tires have been on there for 9 years. So this may have had a huge, it made a huge situation even worse with this particular deal as far as these tires were concerned. But that isn't an official cause of the actual accident itself. Hopefully, once the final investigation completely gets done, we'll get a little bit better picture on what exactly happened that fateful day back in November of 2013. Sticking with actual Paul Walker himself, Mr. Walker's well known for the Fast and Furious franchise, and Universal Studios have finally stepped up and told him what's going to happen as far as the franchise moving forward, at least for the 7th film, which was actually being filmed in the middle when they were actually on hiatus when Paul Walker's accident occurred. Apparently, Mr. Walker's scenes weren't completely finished, but they went ahead and rewrote the script completely. And what they're going to do is use up to 4 different body doubles for Mr. Walker, and also a lot of computer-aided or computer-generated imaging to actually recreate Mr. Walker and his iconic character, if you will, in the Fast and Furious franchise, being Brian O'Connor. Now, at the end of the 7th film, they're saying that Brian O'Connor will be retired as far as the character is concerned. They'll allow the franchise to continue. A lot of people are saying the 7th running of this franchise will be its last movie ever. I still sticking with my guns. This is too much of a cash cow for Universal Studios to ever actually ditch this thing. Now, whether a lot of the main characters being, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Ludacris, Tyrese, people like this, whether they actually try to come back and be in this film moving forward may remain to be seen. In fact, I probably bet that a lot of those folks will not come back to this particular franchise. But they can start it afresh. It's happened before. It'll happen again, I would assume. So at least we're going to know a little bit of what's going to happen in the Fast and Furious 7 that will be coming out in April of 2015 now. An extra year's been tagged on to try to get this film finished. Next up on the list, a little bit happier news. Well, we've met the all-new Alfa Romeo 4C, which is supposedly going to be coming to the New York Auto Show this year as a big launch for the U.S. market. We've also showed off the actual one that showed off in Geneva, which was the 4C Spider. There's a lot of rumors floating about, and Alfa's actually apparently come out and said that they are going to build a brand new 4C variant every year of this vehicle's cycled existence. What's coming up next after the Spider version? Well, a lot of the interwebs is pointing towards a high-performance version. Not saying that the Alfa 4C isn't high-performance already, but maybe even a more high-performance version. More horsepower, more torque, better suspension, if that could happen. Higher speeds, maybe. We'll wait and see what comes of this. But it's definitely got a lot of folks on the interweb and this fat guy very, very excited about what could be coming down the pike for Alfa Romeo. Next up on the list, this was a picture taken way back in the mid-60s when the first Ford Mustang ever came out. And at the New York Auto Show, they actually put a brand new Mustang convertible, at least for the time, on top of the Empire State Building. Here's a little bit better picture. You actually get to see this. Way back in the day, it brought people up to actually see this. Now, how do you get a Ford Mustang to the top of the Empire State Building? Well, back in the 60s, you chopped it up and you carted it up through the service elevator. And that's exactly what the folks did with Ford Motor Company back in the day. Cut the car up, got it to the top, and then reassembled the automobile, had it there on display. Well, guess what? It's going to happen all over again, and here is a brand new 2015 Mustang, actually in the early prep stages. And how are they going to get it up this year? You would think with all the advancements we've had over the past several years that you could probably crane it up there, which apparently there's still no crane that's tall enough to actually get it up there. You can't helicopter it up there just because of the actual landing area is very, very small and it's way too densely populated down there. They're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to chop this sucker up and reassemble it, ship it up through the service elevators and reassemble it at the top. And if you're in New York City at the New York Auto Show, you can look at this car, lay your eyes on it for your very own on the days of April 16th and 17th when the vehicle will be on display at the top of the Empire State Building. I don't know why they're doing this. Obviously, for press, obviously. Interesting story nonetheless. Maybe not as interesting as what the brand new Bentley SUV that's supposedly coming out. There's a lot of rumors splattered all over the interwebs about what Bentley thinks that this car needs to do. Number one, it needs to be off-road capable. Very comfortable, very luxurious. But one other thing. The engineers want this vehicle to be able to do 200 miles an hour. Yeah, that sounds like a tall order. Obviously, the Bentley folks have got the cash to do it, but is it going to get one of those great big W12 twin-turbo monsters? Oh, goodness, we're going to have to wait and see about this little deal. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Sorry again about the voice. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page and like us over there, we'd appreciate it. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.